How to write the introduction. When you write the introduction paragraph, you mustn't include any new information. Your main goal is to paraphrase the task efficiently. So here we have a writing task and we can divide it into 4 elements. The graph below shows the number of tourists visiting a particular Caribbean island and between 2010 and 2017. First, we define which graph it is. When you see axes and lines, it's definitely a line graph. The second step, we should paraphrase the verb shows. Instead of the verb shows, we can use illustrates, depicts, highlights, and displays and provides information about. Then we paraphrase the third element, the number of tourists visiting. We can replace it with the phrase how many tourists visited. And finally, we paraphrase the time period between 2010 and 2017. You can replace it with over a 7-year period from 2010 to 2017. But it doesn't mean that you can paraphrase only this way. There are different ways. You should just enlarge your vocabulary so that you could efficiently paraphrase the task. And here is our introduction. The line graph illustrates how many tourists visited a specific Caribbean island over a 7-year period from 2010 to 2017. We successfully paraphrased the given task. Let's move to the second task. The graph below gives information about how families in one country spent their weekly income in 1968 and in 2018. First, we define the graph. When you see blocks of different length, it's a bar graph. So now we should paraphrase each element here. First, we rewrite the verb phrase. So instead of gives information about, you can use illustrates, represents, highlights, displays, provides information about. Next, we paraphrase the third element, how families in one country spent their weekly income. With average household spending per week in a given country. Now, let's look how we paraphrased each verb and phrase here. So, families becomes household, spend becomes a noun spending, and weekly income becomes per week. And in one country is replaced with in a given country. We replace the time period in 1968 and in 2018 with in the years 1968 and 2018. When you write the introduction paragraph, you should make sure that you choose the correct tense. For example, here in 1968 and in 2018, this time period shows that the action happened in the past and we'll use past simple. Here is our introduction. The bar graph displays the average household spending per week in a given country in the years 1968 and 2018. Here is our final task. So we actually repeat the same steps. We define the graph and you can see that it's a table. Then we paraphrase the second element, the third and the fourth. And here's our introduction. The table presents data on changes in ways of traveling in England over a 15-year period from 1985 to 2000.